This is the Kindy Rockstars Podcast, Season 4. Bringing you incredibly talented singers, artists, creators, and producers in the genre of children's music. I'm your host, Patrick Adams. Each episode will feature songs, albums, videos, or live performances, along with great stories from the artists themselves. Kindy Rockstars Season 4 is proud to be supported and sponsored by Waltmania Public Relations, serving the family entertainment community for more than 20 years. And now, on with the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kindy Rockstars. I am so happy to have back on the show Marsha Goodman Wood of Marsha and the Positrons. Welcome back.
Hey, Patrick. Nice to be back. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. All right. You were on the show last season. What have you been up to since we last talked?
Oh gosh, yeah, I have been very busy. Had a couple of collaborations happening. So let's see, last spring, I put out a single with my friend Collier who I know has also been on this show in the past, who is a New Zealand-based Kindy artist, and
all love Claudia.
Yeah, we wrote some songs together by Zoom, and we actually. That is like we've actually written a bunch of songs together that are from a yet to be recorded project, but we recorded one of the first song and put it out as a single called "Thank You Science," and so that's out and available in all the places, and we had a lot of fun with that. We do have video plans for that one, although that is sort of a little slow to get rolling. So eventually there will be a video with that. And eventually that will be part of another album that's yet to come. And you and I did a collaboration. We got to do a fun song for your Kindy's Do the 80s Volume 2. And I got to sing a cover of Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves, which is a really fun song to do. So that is out. And we're going to make a video for that too. So
yes, we are.
Those
Everybody,
are some fun things.
Just to plug that, go check it out. Marsha absolutely killed it on that one.
Yeah, it's a very fun. It was a fun time for music, right? So it's just, and that was always a song that I like gravitated towards. So that was a treat to be able to sing that one. So
well, funny story. I don't know if I told you when we were talking about the album on Funky Kids Radio, I had a special request to open with your song. Because it was one of their favorites.
So, that's awesome.
I know you weren't able to be on the show that night just because of the time difference, but
they
specially requested that one.
The East Coast, it would have been really, really late. and I think I had some early thing the next morning. So I've been playing a whole bunch of shows. So we tend to have like early mornings for the shows, and it's hard to coordinate all that stuff. But it's been fun. Yeah, it's been a busy time. And we have a new record that drops on Friday. The Friday, September 1st. And that's been a long time coming. So I've been working on that for a while. And I'm super excited that that's like finally out in the world.
Absolutely. And this is an album feature episode.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that album and feature some of the songs. The album is called Energetic.
It is, yeah.
So talk about the genesis of this album. How did it all come together? How did you pick the songs that you did for it, and what inspired it?
Yeah, okay. So picking the songs, I don't know. I sort of make an album once I have enough songs for an album. Although this one, it was in the works for a while, and the pandemic kind of delayed us starting it in the first place. And then we started recording it actually in December of 2021. And we had a couple of days in the studio, and then Omicron hit, and then that kind of like set us back for a while. And then we kept going through to the spring, and then I actually had this like major foot surgery a year ago, March. And so I had thought that we would have the record fully recorded and be working on like all the back end stuff while I was recovering from this big surgery. But we weren't quite done yet. So then that ended up being a little bit of a delay, because I was like actually like fully off my foot for 9 weeks, which was a really long time to be kind of stuck. Although it was actually during that time that Claudia and I wrote a bunch of those songs by Zoom, so I made use of the time. But it sort of extended the whole like time for the record. And then, but also I think one of the fun things about like the fact that it took so long was that we had a lot of collaborations, and there was plenty of time to like develop those and make sure that everybody had time. So we ended up actually having 18 different people contribute to this record. So all of the band, and then some other musician friends, and a bunch of Kindie collaborators. So maybe I'll talk about all of our Kindie friends who are on the record. One of the tracks that sort of has been getting a lot of attention was a collab with Saul Paul, and so that's a song called Starlings. And I had the idea to add a rap part to that track, and Saul Paul and I were doing other work together. We actually were working together on the Be the Change project, which was a thing having to do with the Children's Music Network, and also Saul Paul's like personal project that he's been working on. And so we were kind of working closely on that, and I ended up asking him if he wanted to do it, and he was all in. And I love the way that track came out. And then another thing that like happened during the pandemic, one of the songs is called Shoelaces. And that was one that was a collab with Tina Kenny Jones. And she had this little sort of creativity group, this Facebook group that was with like musicians and visual artists. And during the pandemic, she would like throw out a random prompt and say, okay, we have, however much time, and then, just post what you're doing connected to this prompt. So one of the prompts was shoelaces, and I ended up getting the song idea, and I actually probably posted like an early version of that was not totally finished, but it ended up developing into this fun song, and so I thought it would be like really cool to have her sing on it. So she sang these like amazing backup vocals, and her husband Russ, who plays together with her in Danny Weinkauf's Red Pants Band, played guitar on that. So that was a fun connection that happened. And another one of the songs is this song called High Fives. That's also another hip hop collaboration with my friend Demi Wright, who is a hip hop artist that's based nearby. I'm in DC and he's in Virginia, and we had met at like this award show, and he typically doesn't do kid stuff, although he does a little bit of kid stuff, and but we became friends, and I just thought he would fit really well on that song. And so he raps on that song. And then we also added beatboxing on that song with my friend Jamaal Collier, who is part of a duo called Beatbox Dads. And his partner, Max Bent, used to play with me like long before the Positrons formed and long before the Beatbox Dads formed. And they're based in Baltimore, which is not far from DC as well. And so we used to play together from time to time. Although it kind of the distance kind of got to be a little too much, especially when he had a son, and so the kind of like the travel was a little more of a challenge. But we were playing a bunch of shows together, and I would say this was of course like pre-pandemic, so I would always invite the kids at the end of the show to come up and give a high five if they wanted, and I would say, don't worry, I've got an unlimited supply of high fives. And one day when I said that, Max said, that's a song right there. And he just liked that phrase. And I was like, huh. And so that kind of like stuck in my head. And eventually I wrote the song. And then, so I thought that it would be fun if he wanted to beatbox on. So I invited him and Jamaal, and Max wasn't able to do it, but Jamaal was in. So Jamaal beatboxes on that track, and he goes by Black Root. So when you see it's on the song title, Black Root is Jamaal. So those are fun collaborations. And one other collaboration that we had was for this song called Road to Bremen. And that one is based on the folktale of the Bremen musicians. This folktale, it's like this old folktale where these animals are retiring from the farm and like going to this town, Bremen, to become musicians. And along the way, they kind of meet more animals and they're like all joining the band. So it was kind of, I liked this idea of like bringing in different people into that song, like as if like we were all sort of like joining in the band. And so I asked my friend Keith Grimwood of Trout Fishing in America if he was interested in playing, because we had become friends, and uh, he was like playing a show here in DC, and I went out to like visit, and so that was how that all came about. And so we've got all these fun parts on that song, and I'm excited that all of those that those collaborators were able to be part of the project.
Yeah, collaborations are fun. I didn't get into that too much. I had a vocalist for my first couple of albums, but I think my first collaboration was with EBT Kids on my second full album with Above the Clouds, and I found it very rewarding because you've got your way of doing things, but then you work with somebody who got their way of doing things, and sometimes they can come together and make something even better than you could have ever thought of. And
Absolutely. And I think it's fun having like different people's creative inputs. I think, I like to be like open to, whatever ideas whoever I'm working with can bring to the table. Because I think, like the more open you are to other people's ideas, like you can sort of grow new, exciting things together. And even so, some of the other collaborators on the track actually like became band members. So when we went into the studio, before we went into the studio, my longtime bass player Wardell Howell had decided to retire from the band. He needed to kind of slow down a little bit just for his own personal reasons, and so he sort of regretfully, decided to drop the band as one of the things that he had to kind of like limit. And so my other bandmate Ayana, who sings backup vocals, Ayana Gallant, I always say that wrong. She sings backup vocals and does percussion, plays djembe and cajon, and she also plays trombone, but she doesn't usually. Her hands are busy, so she's doing percussion and backup vocals. And one of her friends who she used to play in another band with was a guy named John Guo, and he first came in just to be like in the studio with us, but then he ended up joining the band, and then and he played a whole bunch of shows with us. But even when he came to join us, he knew that he was going to be moving, and so he has since moved to Nashville. So he's kind of far away. For a while, he was coming back and forth between DC and Nashville playing with us, but it's gotten to be a little bit much. Although he's technically still in the band, so he may play with us in the future, or if we were touring or things like that, he may join us. But we may end up bringing in a new bass player at some point. But he joined the band, and then another band member, our current band member, David Durst, who plays keys, originally came in to just be a part of the recording. And he's a friend of my producer TJ, and had worked with him on other projects, and then he ended up joining the band, and he's now like a core member of the band. So that's fun. And then we had some other collaborators too, some other like friends of my producer TJ, who has made all of my records so far, and we just have a nice partnership, and it's really fun working with him. And like we were talking before about different people bringing their ideas, he's like super creative, and so I'll bring these songs, and he'll always have like these really great ideas of things to do with the songs, and even just the other people to bring in, like our saxophone player Jonathan Parker, who played on 6 of the tracks, is a person that he was friends with and wanted to work with, and so he thought it would be good, and his input has been amazing on this record. And another friend of TJ's who used to tour with him with his band Aloha was this guy named Nick Anderson, and he played guitar. And I have actually never met him in person because he recorded all of his parts remotely, but he just killed it on all of the things he did. And then we also had some other guitar players. We had a guy named Tony Harrod, who is a jazz guitarist mostly here in DC, and I had met him in my travels. He was friends with Wardell, although I didn't meet him through Wardell. I met him independently, and then we realized that we had Wardell in common as a friend, and he ended up playing jazz guitar on a couple of tracks. So Starlings, which is the one with Saul Paul, and this other song called Weather the Weather. And I love his contributions too. So, but anyway, I'm rambling.
Oh no,
Please interrupt me and ask questions if you have some.
You had a very productive album making experience.
Totally.
New band members, lots of collaborations.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't even talk about all the people, but yeah, we just had just a lot of. It was just, it's so much fun. I really love going into the studio. I love like sort of that like creative spark that happens when you're all together and people are giving their ideas, and like a couple of the songs. We basically have like the live performance on the record. Like one of the songs, "No More Doctor Blues," that's the live vocal from when we recorded it in the studio, and also for Ghost Forest Investigators, I believe that's like the live vocal. So we that was a fun like transformation. So that one was what our first or second single from the record. We released that one already in the spring. And originally that song started out as a jazzy song, sort of like slower song. And when we were in the studio, like for TJ kind of thought that he wasn't feeling it at that tempo. And then John, my bass player, started playing this like fast bass riff, and then TJ was like, "Hey, how fast can you sing this?" And I said, "I don't know, like let's try it." So we just did, and that ended up being what we used. So so that was like a fun and I love the pace the tempo and like the way that song came out.
Yeah, I could talk for hours about the creative process. And what's great about music is you go in there with these inspirations, these ideas, and you come out with an end product that's always there and always a reminder of what great things can come out of just little inspiration.
Yeah, right, exactly. Even like the Road to Bremen song that I was talking about before. Some of those, there's all these little fun, subtle things that happen in that song, and some of those things just like happened in the moment at the studio. Like the piano verse we added while we were recording it, and there's this little like part in the middle where David breaks out into Scott Joplin's The Entertainer. And that was just like, he was just inspired to do that in the moment, and then just loved that little fun like breakdown that's in there. And there was also this is like, I don't think this isn't something like you would notice, but something that happened that there's this like bucket of percussion that was at the studio, like all these little different percussion instruments. And TJ had the idea to like sort of add this like percussion noise. I'm sort of like pounding the table because he kind of like took this bucket and like put it in front of the mic, and like there's this like this like noisy percussion that's like sort of indistinguishable from some of the other parts that are all like added in. And that's in there too. So that was like a fun little thing that he just had the idea to do that. And then even at the beginning of that song, there's like these like footsteps, like you're walking on the road, and that idea to do that. I think he may have had that ahead of time, but he brought that idea in, to the studio, and that's Ayana. That's her footsteps in the beginning of that song. So everybody had all these like fun parts that they added.
Gosh, people only knew what went into making songs.
I have a little video clip of some of the like the percussion bucket, and like David also played accordion on that song. So there's some pictures from the studio. I'll have to like dig those out and share them on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you've talked about the 4 songs we're going to feature.
Okay. Oh, good.
So what we'll kind of go back and set them up so that we can play them here.
Sure.
But what I'm really curious about, because I know what it's like when inspiration hits and an idea pops into your head, and it might be a simple idea, but then it eventually ends up being a song with lyrics and fully comes together. So what was the genesis of some of these songs? What made you write the song? And then, pull it all together. So why don't we start with Starlings?
Okay. Starlings. So that was, I think, the first one that I wrote for this record, actually. And this story is kind of it's kind of odd. Like, so right after my last record, Positrons, was released, we had a release show in Towson, Maryland, which is out by Baltimore. So it's a little bit of a drive for me. And it was an early morning thing. So like I sort of like left the house really early. And while I was at the show, I ended up sort of starting to get a migraine. And because it was like so early, I had run out of the house quickly, and I didn't usually I carry some meds in case I get a headache, because I do get migraines from time to time. And I didn't have anything with me. And it's like a 45-minute drive home. So by the end of that, the migraine was coming on really strong. And it was actually really hard to drive home. I had to stop, and anyway, it was not great. But while I was just trying to get through the drive, I noticed this formation of starlings, and was kind of watching them, and out of the corner of my eye and stuck in traffic or whatever. And the song came to me, I guess some of the beginning phrases of it came to me, and I end up I'll do that. I'll sort of write songs in my head. It kind of comes with the melody and the lyrics with a phrase, kind of come together with a phrase. So, and then I'll add to it. And so I sort of, and then I'll repeat it until I, so that I remember it, until I can get to a place where I can either record it into my phone or write it down or whatever. Usually I record it to my phone. So that was a good distraction on that car ride. And I wrote most of the song actually in the car on the way home. And then later on, later on, I think I had the idea to add in Saul Paul's part, or add in a rap part, and had that idea for that break in the middle. And the other thing that I like to do in my songwriting, I like to connect sort of science and nature with positive ideas. And so one of the things that's kind of striking about starling formations, which I looked up later and found out that they're called murmurations, is that, they're sort of these magical formations where they fly together and make these amazing patterns. And just that concept of being able to work together, and how they can do that in nature is just, I think, really cool. And so I wanted to make that connection to us as humans working together, and how we can accomplish more if we work together. So that's really the message of that song. And then I liked the idea of sort of unifying different musical styles as well. So that was, I think, the sort of genesis of having that sort of jazzy feel with the vocals, and adding in the hip hop parts. And then, there's all these other, the rhythm that's there in the song, and it is kind of a Latin jazz kind of rhythm. So that all kind of blends together really nicely, and it's unified. So, kind of makes that whole connection.
I love this story. I love the fact that a migraine inspired a song.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, we're going to play it now. Here it is.
Okay.
Starlings, featuring Saul Paul, by Marsha and the Positrons.
Sup, world? Marsha, Positrons, Saul Paul.
The starlings fly, unified, making amazing shapes in the sky. Let's unify, fly right when we are together. Let nothing divide us, yeah. Shapes in the sky never collide, making formations
graceful as a swan. Starlings do star things, they stand next to none. When you look up in the mirror, I hope you do the same. It's okay to be different, you can do your thing. I'm talking left, right, jig with it, that's fresh, right? You give a little, you get a little. When we come together, we shine extra bright. Take a chance and learn to dance smooth. Do all that you plan to. Attitude on can do, while we shine bright like candles.
Formation. The roar is heard in a unified formation. A roar is heard, a unified formation.
And that was Starlings. All right, let's get into the next song. We talked a little bit about it, but again, I think you said what inspired the song, but kind of take it from the concept to how it came to life. This is Shoelaces.
Yeah, so Shoelaces, when I was rehearsing it with John, I had the idea for the bass riff, and I think I just kind of like, I don't remember, it didn't have the bass riff fully formed in my head, but I had the idea that it would be like fun to start with a bass riff. And I suggested that. And then John came up with that bass riff. But then when we were in the studio, TJ also had this idea of, at the beginning, you'll hear it's kind of like the song is like getting faster and then it kind of like has a little break and then it goes into the bass riff. So the idea of that is almost, it's like your shoes are untied and you're sort of like running faster and faster and then you trip and then you got to stop and tie your shoes. And so that's like that musical idea that there at the beginning. It's kind of subtle, but you'll now that you know that it's there, you'll know that that's what's happening. And then it's just I really I like in that song the contrast with that kind of like slow groove that it starts with, and then you get into the chorus where your shoes are tied and all you can run, you can jump, and all that good stuff. So that's I enjoy that about the song, and my audiences enjoy that. So usually I invite the kids to like run and jump, and so there's this. It has such a good energy in when I play it live, and people have been really responding nicely to that. So that's really fun.
All right, well, we're going to check it out now. This is Shoelaces featuring Tina Kenny Jones by Marsha and the Positrons.
Yay!
Shoelaces always come untied. Shoelaces, I swear to you I tried to put that rabbit round the tree and down the hole. Now let me see, how did these butterflies all get inside? Oh, I wanna run around the town, and I'm gonna jump high off the ground. When I figure it out, I know my heart's gonna soar. They don't know I've never tied my laces before. Shoelaces, a challenge that I've gotta face. Shoelaces always put me in my place. I'm just a kid trying my best. Shoelaces put me to the test. It shouldn't be that hard, or am I way off base? Oh, I wanna run around the town, and I'm gonna jump high off the
And that was Shoelaces. All right, our next song is Road to Bremen. And again, you talked about this one a little bit, but I have to wonder, where is Bremen?
I don't know. I did look up, that original folktale, and it's a folktale that's like been around for a really long time. I think it might originally come from Eastern Europe, but like there's many different versions. So when I used to play, I don't play this very often live. I used to play it with really little kids when I would do like sing-alongs with very young kids, and I would do a version of it with animals instead of the instruments. So like I would let the kids choose the animals to sing, and so like we would make animal sounds, and so like there's different things you can do with this song, but that didn't make as much sense to do it that way in the studio. So we kind of focused on the musicians joining the band kind of idea that's in the song, and but originally like there's like different versions of that tale with different animals. So there's like one with like a bear and a wolf, and there's one with like a rooster and a donkey and other, like there's some other animals. So there's you can kind of make it what you want. So it's kind of the fun concept, and there's more to the story. Like in the folktale, there was these robbers, and the animals scare away the robbers. They never actually get to Bremen because they end up scaring robbers away from this house and deciding to live in this house. So it takes a turn. We didn't go there with the song, but it's kind of a funny story. But I liked that the concept of like different sort of meeting people along the road and joining the band was what kind of like grabs me about that story idea. And
like your recording process was almost a little like a road to go.
Almost. That was kind of, I think, one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to include that one was because like in the time that from when I started writing that song, like our band was growing and more people were joining the band, so it felt like that was like almost our story a little bit. And then with this record, the way that like all these different people contributed to the record, it kind of like it's like symbolic of that.
Very good. Well, this is a cool song. Here it
Thank
is,
you.
Road to Bremen, featuring Keith Grimwood of Trout Fishing in America, by Marsha and the Positrons.
We're on the road to Bremen, making good friends along the way. We're gonna make some music. Where will this road take me today? First we need some rhythm, so everybody clap your hands. We're gonna make some music, everybody now play drums with the band. We also need a bass line, so everybody get down low. We're gonna make some music, sing along, how low can you go? Everybody play a chord. Let's get our fingers ready. Everybody get on board. We're on the road to Bremen, making good friends along the way. We're gonna make some music. Where will this road take me today? We're gonna need some singers. Everybody sing out loud.
that was Road to Bremen. All right, last song we're going to include here in our album feature is called High Fives. So
Yeah.
I love the concept of the song. I absolutely love the lyric. I've got an endless supply of high fives.
Yeah, unlimited supply.
So
yeah.
fun and so true.
Actually, originally the title was Unlimited Supply of High Fives. But then we added Demi and Jamaal. And so I wanted to make sure that that I could include them in the title. So it was to have an unlimited supply of high fives featuring Demi Right and Black Room was like way too long. So I ended up shortening the title to just High Fives. And I often like close out our show with this song, or it's near the end of either like second to last or last song, because it's I usually invite the audience to give high fives after the show and to give each other high fives during the song. So people it's I don't know, it's just fun giving high fives, right? So it's like just this easy way of like just sharing a little bit of joy, and so I feel like it's always a nice positive note to end on, and so it's fitting that we should end the show today with this song too.
Definitely. And did I say endless? It's unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah. It's whatever. Right idea. You that concept is what's important. And then and I love like Demi's rap in this song. I mean, I think he just sort of, it's just so like perfectly, it fits so perfectly, and all, he got in so many amazing ideas in that rap. And then when we do it live, sometimes I get to do the rap, which is really fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna close out the album feature with High Fives featuring Do Me Right and Jamaal Collier by Marsha and the Positrons.
Mm-hmm.
Got an unlimited supply of high fives. Yeah, an unlimited supply of high fives. As sure as I'm alive, I'll give you a high five. Got an unlimited supply of high fives. It's my positive energy that keeps me happy. And when our hands touch, it's true. Feel that positive energy too. Got an unlimited supply of high fives. Yeah, an unlimited supply of high fives. As sure as I'm alive, I'll give you a high five. Got an unlimited supply of high fives.
When it comes to high fives, got unlimited supplies, making people happy, and that is not a surprise. Energy high, it's gotta be renewable. If you haven't tried, it's easy and it's doable. Give a high five so I'm in your corner. Hands up in the air, I know you really wanna. Every time it happens, we all feel good. I give the whole world a high five if I could. Giving high fives, another way to celebrate, to let somebody know what they did was great. Here, there, everywhere, getting so excited. I'm going out to play and everybody is invited. Another high five for you, now who's next? Pass it on and let them know you think they are the best. Giving high fives, that's what it's about. Unlimited supply, so we'll never run out.
Got an unlimited supply of high fives. Yeah, an unlimited supply of high fives. As sure as I'm alive, I'll give you a high five. Got an unlimited supply of high fives. Got an unlimited supply of high fives. Yeah, an unlimited supply of high fives. As sure as I'm alive, I'll give you a high five. Got an unlimited supply of high fives.
That was High Fives, and that was the album feature for Energetic. I hope all of you enjoyed the songs and all of the stories that went along with it. So Marsha, let everybody know, where can they stream, purchase, download this album, find your other work, and how can they find and connect with you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you so much for featuring the record. It's like, I'm very excited that this is like now out in the world. And yeah, people can find us on our website, marshaandthepositrons.com. And the record is up on Bandcamp. So it's marshaandthepositrons.bandcamp.com. And that has, you can buy the physical CD there. You can download the record there. And our other records are there as well, Positronic and Gravity Vacation. And we also have t-shirts and some other little fun goodies that you can order. Just generally, you can find us on Instagram at Marsha and the Positrons. We have a YouTube channel, Marsha and the Positrons, and actually we have a couple of videos that are already in progress for this new record. So we have videos coming for Fly Ladybug Fly and Counting on My Brain, and then we have some other videos in the works as well. But those two are like the ones that are closest to being finished. So subscribe on YouTube, and then you'll be able to watch those videos as soon as they come out. And follow us on Instagram, and we're on Facebook at Marsha and the Positrons. And those are really the best places to find us. So yeah, please follow and subscribe. And then we play lots of shows. We'd like to come to your town. So if you want us to come in and play live, just let us know where to go, and we'll try to make it happen.
I would like you to come play live in Las Vegas.
I would love to do that. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Well, Marsha, best of luck with the album. Really exciting. Sounds like a lot went into this.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the success, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much, Patrick. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'll hope to see you soon.
Take care.
Okay, bye.